Welcome back, guys. I am Roy Mazani, and we are continuing with our Surpac Geological database tutorials. And in the previous tutorial, we managed to import data. Hopefully, you did that successfully. And now that we have the data in our Drillhole database, we'd like to learn a few tricks on how we can edit the display styles of those drills so that it will make sense in our graphics window when we are plotting it. So I'll connect to my tutorial database, which is the database I created here, .ddb. You just drag it and drop it into your graphics window, or as I did, you right click and you click open. My profile, I'm using Geology database, so you make sure you are using Geology database. And also I've set my work directory, the one that I had been using before. Okay, if I come to my tutorials database here, display draws, and I try to trace, say, the assay table for our average lithium grade field without any constraints, and I click apply, I'm going to see that the default green tracing color will be used, and it's not that much appealing, right? So we would like to add some colors to it, those display styles. So I'll clear my graphics like this. I'll come to my tutorial database. I'll select drill display styles. I am presented with this window, which I'm interested in this field, average lithium grade. So I'll come here, I'll right click, and before I add styles, I would like to just check the minimum and maximum range for my lithium grade. I will click here. So as you can see, the range is from -1 to 6, which is as per our defined or imported data. Rather, the data that we imported, the lithium grade, it ranges from -1 to 6.8. So I'm going to add new styles here, and make them maybe 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. From value, this is where you define the starting of your interval, the starting point, and to value the end point. The graphics color, that's the color that will be used in when your data will be displayed, your draws will be displayed in your graphics window. Your graphics pattern, this is the pattern that will be adopted, and also here the plotting color, when you plot, this color will be used, and so will be the plotting pattern. And the line, we can specify the line thickness and the likes, right? So we'll start here. We're going to put a display style from 0 grams per ton to 1 gram per ton, which is mainly areas which are not of much economic importance. They're very low grade, and we're going to put this color, very light gray. I don't know, is it very light gray or silver? We're just going to call it light gray here. I'll click OK, and we use the same color for plotting. I'll click OK. That's from 0 to 1. The graphics pattern, we use this one. For the plotting pattern, we're going to do it randomly. I will start with this one here. For my line, I will increase my thickness to 3. I will click apply here, and okay, move on to the next one. The from value, we're going to say from 1 to 2. I'm going to pick from 1 to 2, like that. And the color that we're going to use here, it's pale yellow. Yeah, we'll just say pale yellow. Then this area just represents materials, low grade material, but it may be of interest maybe later, but it is no it's not highly economic, right? I'll put pale yellow here. When you're selecting your colors, I don't know, I forgot to mention that you can either pick these colors here, or we're not going to be using this, where you specify the hue, the saturation value, and the likes. But Here you specify your primary colors, RGB, the values. We're not going to be using that. We're interested in this, in the Crayola, where you just pick the common colors which are there. Can pick red or the likes. So I'm just going to go with pale yellow here, and I'll also go with this one here. I'll put my graphics pattern, pick this one, the plotting pattern. I'll just go with this. Okay, didn't I use that one? Let me use the here, and I'll increase my line thickness to 3. I'll try to rush through from 2. I'll expand it to 4, and I'll put bright yellow here, because this area is representing for us material that is economic and potentially mineable. So I'll put a yellow there, bright yellow, and bright yellow here for the plotting color. I'll put maybe this one for my graphics pattern. Then my plotting pattern, I'm just doing this randomly. Let me just say milestone, right? I'll increase my line thickness to 3. Then here we say 2 to 6. But we've exhausted, right? The range. Let's say not 2. Okay, that's 4 to 5. 2 to 4, 4 to 5. Yes, 4 to 5, and we're going to put. Let's do it this way. Let's pick something close to red, something like this. Okay, let's pick something close to red, something like this. And yeah, I'll pick this one again. Oh, are these the same? Okay, let's use this one. Yeah, they look the same to me. Okay, the graphics pattern will go with this one. The plotting pattern, okay, where did I see Mika there? Okay, I'll pick this one, and I'll increase my thickness to 3, and from value to value. Lastly, let's say from 5 up to infinity. How do I write infinity? 999, right? The graphics color, we're going to pick something like okay, rather let's use the Crayola, just so you confirm it works. I'll pick red here, I'll click OK, and here I'll also pick red here, and okay, good to go. The graphics pattern, I'll use the remaining one, and for my plotting pattern, let's keep to what milestone. Okay, I'll increase my thickness to 3 like this, and we are pretty much done. Maybe we would like to define the lithologies. Go to your geology. I have already done this for the sake of time, but you come to geology, lithology, you right click, and you ask Surpac to give you the field codes. Then you expand here. You are presented with this. These are the lithologies that are contained in our database under the lithology field of the geology table. So you specify a thing or two, say the greenstone, I have put the green color here, and I've defined the thickness, I increased it to 3. The plotting pattern, I picked greenstone, and the grays in here, okay, I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in the greenstone, the pegmatite. You can define all of these. The clay, I think I did it, yes. And I also picked the clay for my plotting pattern. So just pick your code. Right now you are not using the from into valuables. You are dealing with codes here. Pick the code. You define the graphics color, graphics pattern, the plotting color, and the likes. I defined the pegmatites here, and I put red color. This is the same thing. Maybe I might just change this one, make it a little bit, but it's one and the same thing. It's just that the spelling difference here, they had to come as different codes. And for my codes, I think I put the codes there. Maybe I might want to differ this with the clay. Let me put for my codes, maybe this color. Let me just put this color. Codes rabo. Oh, try to find it for both this one and this one, and do that for that one again. And yeah, okay, I have my soil. I put brown there. My rubble, I don't know what the color is. You have to forgive me. I'll increase my thickness here. So I just rushed it through so that we don't waste much of our time here, but you have the basic idea of what's happening here. I was mainly interested in this lithium grade. So I'll click apply. We've successfully created our display styles, and if I'm to come here, tutorial database display, and I want to trace my average lithium grade, which is under the assay. And okay, we'll talk much about this later on. I'll click apply. Okay, without any constraints. If I am to rotate my data and zoom in, you can see that we've managed to put some display styles, and just by observing, you can easily pick an area of high mineralization. You can pick an area along a drill hole, which area is high grade lithium and the likes. So after I've done this, it does make sense. You can display for the geology and your lithology. You click apply, and you can see there's your pegmatite. We put red there. There's your pegmatite, and but you put green. There's your greenstone. There's your greenstone and the like. So that's basically why we do this. Why we define these display styles. And oh, okay. I can come here. Say for example, let me go back to my lithology, to my assay. The what is it? Average lithium grade. There. Click apply, and I'll just rush through this display. Okay, this display. That's what I want. Not that. Okay, view, and let's create viewing planes. We're just going to pick using graphical selection. I'll put a 10 here and a 10 here. I'll leave a 10 there. I'll just define this cutting plane here. You can see this will help you to visualize for these defined drills. What do I have? These are my area for this drill is high mineralization. You can check those red zones there, the yellow, which was 2 to 4, and the red, which was for 6 to infinity and the likes. We'll go through more of this later. So after you've successfully, let me just remove these planes, these film plates. After you've successfully done this, there are more display options you can play around with. Say trace styles, color styles, geology patterns, labels, and the likes. And we'll go through this in the next tutorial. So hopefully you've managed to learn a thing or two in this tutorial. I hope that it was very helpful. And if you like this video, don't forget to like it, right? You just press the like button there, and don't forget to subscribe so that you won't miss any of my upcoming tutorials and helpful tips. Well, I hope they will be helpful to you. And well, it's goodbye for now. I'll check you in the next tutorial. Okay.